Good and Shushan Purim, everyone. Shushan Purim should be more than just not saying Tachnun. So one of the things that it should do is really get us to focus on Yerushalayim and hope that they have normalcy. They don't end up in a miklat. There were actually Purim parties in the miklat. I'm delighted to say that with the help of the Olam, other help also, but with the help of the Olam, I gave out yesterday on Purim $4,000. Matan of Yonim. So Baruch Hashem. Also, we're coming close to $3,000 now in total with Aguda Overseas and Ezra's Torah. So it's becoming a little bit more respectable. Still, anybody who didn't, the envelopes, I already sent in one full installment, but I'm going to send in another one, so if anybody didn't give yet, please do so. Okay, we are... What?
Why do we celebrate Shushan Purim? In the walled city, why?
Why do we celebrate? Because we're all... there's a lot of Torah. The Chassam Sofer says a famous thing, that Purim couldn't be one day. Because then there would be a risk that people would be drunk and there wouldn't be Torah in the world. So therefore it was split into 2 days. So when we're drunk here, they're not drunk there. And it's no joke. I told you Volozhin had submarine beds. What's pshat submarine beds? The Volozhin had 3 shifts because they believed that they were being mekayim the olam with their learning. So there were 3 shifts. They didn't have beds for all the bachim. They had a third of the beds. And then there was an infirmary if somebody was sick. That's the way it works in the nuclear submarine. Rabbi Friedman knows that, but most of us haven't been on a nuclear submarine. They did torpedo a Iranian ship today, the first ship that was torpedoed since World War II. Torpedoed a ship. Shilumas Rishoim Tireh. You see the downfall of the wicked. Shimon, it's wonderful to see you. Wonderful to see you. Welcome home. Okay, so we are holding in the 6th parak, Mishna Beis, as responsible by the Fisher family, Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi Shalom Ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain, Nishmas David Ben Chaim, L'Refu Shalem for Yomis Kerisos, Yaakov Ben Basi Leah, for the schus of Avram Ben Yem Reish Ben Malki Hudas, Vayol Klugman and family for their Parnas Gesund and Achas, L'Refu Shalem for Victor Arya Ben Rivka and the Bas Kerisos, Yitzchak Ben Tzim Ben Dusha, Rivka Bas Shiva Leah, Chana Bas Shashabina, Rachel Bas Sarah, Moshe Meir Ben Estefradel, Meir Ben Kerisos, they should have a L'Refu Shalem B'Sei Chayli Yisrael. Now, Oshem Vadai Einoi Kain. The laws that we stated in Mishnah Aleph about an Oshem Toli is not that way by an Oshem Vadai. So let's get a case over here. Yaakov had a piece of chaylev, and Yaakov was Moal Behektish, and he separated an Oshem Meila. If he finds out that his wife said that wasn't hektish, that was from a shalach bonus. So imachaloi nishchat, if they didn't shecht it yet, well, everybody agrees yetze v'yirabeider. They just send the animal back to the flock. It wasn't needed. Mishnishchat, or once he shechted it, so they shechted it as an oshem vadai, but in reality it was chulin. So that's chulin ba'azara, that was shechted in the azara, as Arizei cover. It has to be buried. Nizra kadam, if the blood was sprinkled, again, unnecessarily, so as the Rav says, this mandiyama holds chulin in the azara has to be burnt. So Abasu Yetze Lebeis HaSreifa. Shar Niskalein Kain. Now here Yaakov has a shar that they said killed someone. They were going to stone him. Imachali Niskal, they found out that it was a mistake, it wasn't this shar. But Yaakov's shar was clean, lily white. Yetze V'Yirabed goes back and pastures in the flock. Mishniska, once it's stoned, they find out, well, at least it's not Asabana, Mutabana. Now, what about an Egla Rufa? Egla Rufa is brought on the case of an unsolved homicide. Right? If they find the murderer before they break its neck, they send it back to the flock. It's not needed. Mishinerpa, if the murder was solved, but after the neck was broken, okay, tikaver b'mekayma, because at the time the neck was broken, it was still a suffix. So then it's buried like a regular case. Shal suffix ba mitchilasa. It was bought in the case of a suffix. Kipra sveika, you atoned for the suffix at the time. Now you found it. Okay, there's a Tag Miyanis and Ben Azil that says that the blood of the Egla Rufa snakes out and makes its way to the home of the murderer. There's such a Tag Miyanis and Ben Azil. Rebbe Eliezer Eimer, Misnadev Adam Ashim Toli B'chol Yom U'B'chol Shasha Yirtzeh. You know what? Yaakov, he says you could never be too sure. And anyway, the Ashim Toli doesn't do kapara, because you see, if you find out you did it, you have to bring a chatas. So anyway, it's like a nedava. So therefore he says, if a person wants to, bring it just in case he did something that he's not aware, Rebbe Eliezer says you could do it. V'nikra asham chasidim. It's an asham of the pious. Yaakov could sometimes be a very chassidish yid. Amru alav, al-bava ben buti, sheyimisnadiv asham toli b'chol yom, except for one day. Except for the day after Yom Kippur. Chutz me'achar Yom Kippurim Yom Echad. He waited. He didn't do it right after Yom Kippur. Amar hama'oin hazeh. He said, by the temple, ilu hayumanichim li, if they would let me, I would bring it even right after Yom Kippur. Hayisi maybe, because I hold that it's like a carbon nedava. Elo oimrim li, they tell me hamtei nachitikanis al suffix, that there should be, since Yom Kippur is mechaper, there should be at least a suffix. The Chachamim, there's no such thing. You bring an Ashim Toli, if you have a suffix, whether you did a specific Avera of a Chatas. And that's the opinion of Chachamim. Chachamim aim via Ashim Toli. El al Davish is the Doinai Karas, Chatas. He's not sure. He had two pieces of meat in front of him, one kosher, one chaylev. He's not sure which one he ate. There was two women, a wife and a sister. He's not sure which one. That's the only time that you bring Nashim Tali. Tonight we'll have daf at 8, and right after the daf we'll have our first Haggadah shir. And if you don't want to come down, because I know it's a long way from your house, you could also listen to Haggadah shir, which is approximately about 8:45 on the zoomdaf.com with meeting code all capital RMMW. Of course, all those that come to the daf, we have room for you here in the shul. Reb Chananya ben Akasha, Amaratza Kadosh Baruch Hu, L'zakei Yis Yisrael, L'fika Chibel Em Torah Mitzvah, Shinam Adinoi Chafetz, L'man Tzidka, Yad L'Torah V'Yadir.